You're listening to the Div Not S, where we show you how to do life and business confident, focused, and with a plan so that you can make more money. Have more free time and less stress. Your host, Wayne Weathersby, will uncover actionable hacks, strategies, tips, and insights you can use today to live a better, more productive life. It's time to boost your mindset, confidence, and your attitude. Here's your host, Coach Wayne.
Hey friends, welcome back to the Productive Not Busy podcast, where we talk about building the business, the mindset, and life you actually want. And I'm your host, Wayne Weathersby, business coach, team leader, and your guide to being productive and not busy. And today we're going to talk about a topic that might hit close to home. It's called forecasting your future and why hope is not a business plan. Okay, have you ever woke up, opened your laptop, looked at your pipeline, and think, man, how did I get here? You're making your calls, you're showing houses or cars or whatever it is that you sell, and you're doing all these things that everyone says you should do, but your results just don't match your effort. If that's you, I want you to hear me clearly. All right, you're not broken. You're just operating without a forecast. And without a forecast, you're flying blind. See, business forecasting isn't some corporate spreadsheet thing. It's simply predicting what's coming based on what's already happened, and then making the smart moves before it's too late. See, success is mathematical. Most productivity coaches and success coaches teach you something most salespeople overlook. Success isn't random. It's mathematical. If you know your conversion ratios and your lead sources and your average commission per deal, forecasting isn't emotional anymore. It's just math. But here's the trap. Most salespeople avoid tracking because facing the truth is painful. If you don't look at the numbers, you can tell yourself I'm fine. Things are picking up or things are slow. The weather, the economy, politics, whatever. But you're not fine. You're gambling. Forecasting is the opposite of gambling. It's ownership. It's saying, I know where I am, I know where I'm headed, and I'm making adjustments right now, not when it's too late. And that leads me to the mindset equation. Attitude plus effort equals outcome. Forecasting isn't just numbers, it's a mindset. Two salespeople can look at the same slow market and have two completely different reactions. Salesperson A says, the market's dead. Salesperson B says, my data tells me that I need 3 times more appointments to hit my goal. Time to ramp up my efforts. Same facts, just a different mindset. That's the difference between being emotional and being intentional. Your attitude fuels your effort, and your effort determines your outcome. And here's the kicker. Your brain follows the path you focus on. That's basically NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. If you keep focusing on what's not working, your subconscious filters your world to confirm exactly what you're thinking. But if you focus on what's possible, your brain starts finding evidence to support that instead. You can't forecast success if your inner dialogue keeps predicting failure. So I'm going to give you some better questions. It's the NEPQ method. Let's flip this a little bit. Neuro-emotional persuasion questioning. Okay, it's the new version of NLP just for your brain. So I want you to ask yourself, what happens if I keep doing exactly what I'm doing for another 90 days? And what should my business look like if I actually followed a success plan? What's the real cost of not changing my system? See, what happens when you ask those questions, your brain stops defending excuses and starts searching for solutions. You move from reaction mode to responsibility mode. And that's where the transformation happens. So what I want you to do is I'm going to give you some systems to protect your emotion. So I want to get real for a second. Motivation is not a business plan. Systems are. When you're tired and when you're discouraged and when you just don't have the juice in you, your systems should keep you safe from yourself. That's why you should run a model. In real estate, we run MREA, which is a budget model, to protect your business from emotional decision making. If you know your percentages, right, 30% to taxes, 30% to expenses, 40% to profit, then a bad math month doesn't wreck your world. You don't panic, you just adjust. You don't overspend, you recalculate. And you don't burn out. You build with data, not drama. So what's the framework? Okay, let's get practical here for a second. I'm going to give you your forecast framework. It's 5 steps to get back into control. First, I want you to know your ratios. Track your leads to appointments, your appointments to contracts, and your contracts to closings. Number 2, I want you to budget like a business. Follow a model. 30% taxes, 30% expenses, 40% profit. And then reverse engineer your goals. If you want $150,000 net, how many conversions does that take? You'll know the answer. Audit your effort every week, and every Friday ask yourself, did my actions align with my forecast? And then number 5 is a mindset reset. Each morning with one question. What's one thing I can control today that moves me closer to my goal? Simple, right? Not easy, but simple. The goal isn't perfection. It's predictability. So I'm going to leave you with this. You're not stuck. You're just unfocused. If you're listening right now and you're struggling, I want to remind you of something very powerful, okay? You're not stuck. You're just unfocused. I've been there. I know what you're feeling. Staring at a whiteboard full of names that aren't calling you back, watching deals fall apart left and right, and feeling like you're running out of time. But that moment, that pivot point, success doesn't come from hoping the market changes. It comes from changing your forecast, right? Hope is not a strategy. Effort without direction is not productivity. And forecasting done with the right mindset, the right models, and the right systems is how you go from surviving to scaling. So I hope this helps. Short, sweet, right to the point, as usual. Okay, you've been listening to this podcast, right? The Productive Nut Podcast. And if today's topic gave you some clarity, share it with a friend or an agent or whoever you know that is stuck in the grind. And remember, you're not busy, you're productive. Now go forecast your future and take control of your business and your mindset and your freedom. You're the only one that can do that. So next time that we get together, I hope you can say that I'm staying sharp, I'm staying consistent, and I'm moving forward. That's what we're all about on this show, and I hope it helps. I hope you guys have a great day. Be safe, take care, sell a bunch, and find somebody and say something nice to them. See you soon.
You've been listening to the Productive, Not Busy podcast. Please hit the subscribe and notification of new episodes button and visit us on social media like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok for bonus content.